everyone, it's Christian from the Calcio Bros, and I'm here to talk about a lot of stuff that's been going on, a lot of coaching changes, players doing their medicals, and a lot of rumors going on about players leaving their teams, a lot of destinations, and we're going to get to that and discuss a little bit about it. But first, I want to congratulate the teams coming up to Serie A. We have Brescia, who were Serie B champions, Lecce finishing second, and then Hellas Verona overcoming a 2-0 first leg defeat to Cittadella to win 3-2 on aggregate and win the playoffs. They will be coming up, those three teams. Verona were only down for about a year, and then they managed to come back up again. They're replacing their city rivals Chievo, who are going the other way. So either way, we can't escape the Bentegodi. But hopefully, these teams can strengthen their teams enough so they can stay one more year in the top flight. Lecce are actually rumored to get Turkish striker Yilmaz, so that's really out of the blue. Interesting choice there too for a player, but again, they need these types of players. They need the quality. Look at Parma. They signed Gervinho Biabiani. They brought in Kushka in January. These type of players and the quality will help them stay up in the top flight and live on, again, playing against some of the biggest sides in Italy. I also want to say with Brescia too, because they have under 21 starlet Sandro Tonali. It may be hard to keep him. He's getting a lot of interest from Italian clubs as well as abroad. So it's hard to say if they'll keep him. He is very young. They will definitely want a hefty price, probably 20 to 40 million. I know that's a lot, but in today's market, it's probably nothing. So keep an eye on him as well. He's going to be one of the ones to watch if he stays there next season. Even if he moves, he'll still be one to watch as well. But it's if Brescia can keep a hold of him, that will be key if they can stay up and strengthen around Sandro Tonali. So now going on to some of the coaches. Yes, we had a lot of changes going on, a lot of rumors of who's going where, who's going to be the coach. So we'll talk a little bit about that now. So far we had about 7 coaches leave their teams right now. Roma, Claudio Ranieri left as it was the end of his contract. He only said he'll be staying till the end of the season when he took over after Di Francesco got sacked. Allegri left of mutual consent. Same with Gennaro Gattuso. Allegri leaves winning another Serie A title. He could not win the treble even after getting Ronaldo. Emery Chan on a free agent. There's a lot of, there was disappointment. Juve didn't even have the season like they did last year. They finished with less points than their previous season, so it could be seen as a disappointment. They did get eliminated from the Coppa Italia by Atalanta. They were eliminated in the Champions League by Ajax, a young, brilliant team. So there is a lot of work to do, and Maurizio Sarri taking over there, we'll get a little to that in a bit. Again, like I said, Gennaro Gattuso left the team in a mutual consent. There was a lot of rumors if he would stay on if Milan finished 4th. He only missed out by 1 point. So to me, it is sad to see him go. He did the best he could with the team he had. I know he got Milan rallying in the last few games of the season, but it just wasn't enough. I do wish the best for him. I feel if he goes out and coaches somewhere, gets more experience to maybe a mid-table team perhaps abroad or even in Italy, it would help him, and maybe in the future he can come back to Milan and be successful. But for now, I know it was his senior. He has coached Serie B teams and a couple of Greek sides, but this was the biggest drop he had. 2 consecutive finishes in Europa League qualification. But again, let's see where he'll end up and how Milan will go about it afterwards without him. Luciano Spalletti was sacked by Inter. Bit of a disappointment, I guess. They were eliminated from the Champions League. They didn't make it past in the next round of the Champions League. They got eliminated in the group stage off goal differential or head-to-head against Tottenham. So what are you going to do there? Then they got eliminated in the Europa League. I believe it's the quarterfinals, round of 16, something like that. I can't remember. this time, but they were eliminated by Eintracht Frankfurt. And Inter, again, we'll get to their new coach in a second, as you may know who it is. But a lot of work to be done there. And then, again, they finished 4th behind Atalanta on the head-to-head. It was still a bit of a disappointment for Inter their season, especially what happened with Icardi. That's another issue in itself. But we're just worrying about the coaching changes right now. We had Sampdoria and Genoa. Both these teams, Gianpaolo and Prandelli, their coaches left on mutual consent as well, and we'll get to their replacements as well. Gianpaolo actually being rumored to be the next Milan coach. He is probably set to join them in the next few days, so keep an eye out for that. We'll get to a lot, maybe how he can change Milan up. And then Verona even changing their coach, Aglietti. He only left because it's the end of his contract. You bring him up and then you don't decide to stay on. Maybe it was a mutual thing from before. You would leave. But what are you going to do? So now going on to the replacements. Roma has Paulo Fonseca. He joins after coming from Shakhtar Donetsk, where he won quite a few trophies as well. But there is still a lot of stuff to work out in the squad. Because it wasn't just the coach last year. It wasn't just Di Francesco. It wasn't just Ranieri. There are a lot of players that need to be overhauled. There are rumors of Dzeko already being sold to Inter. So we got to wait for anything official. But I remember when I was watching the last game, they already said that that was a done deal. But again, it's not official until the player holds up the jersey or the scarf. So, and then we have also Daniele De Rossi leaving as well. After so many years with the club, one of the last few Roman men to leave. Totti leaving Roma after 30 years. He's stepping down from the director position at Roma, and he has many harsh words for Pallotta and Baldini. So Roma just right now is in a bit of a mess, and Fonseca is one of the people they hope that can help change their fortunes next season. But again, they have to try to keep some of their players. They have to really revamp their squad. Because Olsen, he was a flop. He may have started out decent, but then he just got way worse, took a huge nosedive. And then once they put in Miranda late in the season, they start to pick up results. But again, you can't rely on Miranda for a whole season considering his age. And he's not much more than a mid-table team starter or like a top-table team backup. So you can't really rely on him. He's getting older. So it's time to maybe cash in on Olsen, get someone who can start. It was tough losing Allison as well, so it is a very hard replacement. Manola's rumored to leave as well, and that will be hard to replace for Roma. He's such a crucial part of their defense, so Roma better hope they can keep it. Juventus, like I said, Maurizio Sarri taking over. This will feel a bit of a betrayal from the Napoli fans. There's even the picture of him giving the finger to all the Juve fans. So I'm intrigued by this one because after a decent season with Chelsea, he managed to get them top 4 finish, won the Europa League, his first ever trophy, because considering he was at Napoli before, they didn't really win any Serie A titles. He only won the Serie B, Serie B runner-up. That's not really anything you could say. But then again, he won only back in his days in Serie D, the Coppa Italia. So winning the Europa League is his biggest title to date. So can't really say he's not a huge winner, I guess. I just don't know how to say it, but there was a lot of issues with him at Napoli because of his rotation as well. And then with Chelsea, you had one of the best defensive midfielders in the game, N'Golo Kanté. But then you bring over Jorginho and put Kanté out of position just to have Jorginho, who didn't have the best of seasons in England because of the diverse style that's there. It hinders it and hinders the quality of your team. So, and again, with him at Napoli, he didn't rotate his players a lot. And I'm wondering what he'll do at Juve, who he's going to bring in, because Ramsey's coming in. Rumors of Rabiot coming in are a free agent as well, so there won't be any more huge profile names in the midfield coming in, but that does strengthen the midfield quality, and that's what Juve really needed. Rumors of Cancelo leaving, rumors of Dybala leaving. There was always rumors of Ronaldo leaving, but I doubt he'll leave after almost like he's finishing more than 20 goals in his first season at Juve. So I really don't know. You're losing a great defender in Andrea Barzagli, who's retiring as well. So again, you're gonna have to reinforce the defense, and it's not like Rugani can carry on. He either should have been sent out on loan or maybe even sold because he is not Juve quality. They should have honestly kept Benatia, but they felt him going their young gun. And Rugani has shown some signs of high quality, but not Juve quality. So again, there's a lot of stuff Sarri will require for his team, and I'm really intrigued to see what type of players he will bring in to this Juve side. Milan, like I said, Gattuso leaving and Gianpaolo being rumored, but most likely will accept a Milan coaching role. Official announcement should be coming soon, so just hold on to that. And I know he's looking at changing Milan too, going from the 4-3-3 to the 4-3-1-2, putting Paqueta in that trequartista role, or even dropping him back and changing Suso from a winger to the trequartista role as well. And he maybe even wanted to give Andre Silva another chance as a secondary striker. And he could perhaps work well playing off Piontek and someone supporting him. And it'll give Cutrone a chance to challenge himself again, try to break into that starting lineup. And this way it gives Milan more quality up front instead of playing with just two strikers all of season again. Because again, last season they were playing half season with Higuain, half the season with Piontek, and then Cutrone playing there the whole year. So it gives Milan a bit more quality up front. They're already getting Krunic as well in that midfield, so bit of depth as well after losing Montolivo, Bertolacci, and Mauri in that midfield, but it's not like they're huge misses at all, really. You do have Abate leaving, you do have Zapata, who I hear is also not re-signing a contract. So there is a lot of work to be done in this Milan lineup. And let's see now with Maldini in charge as well, getting more of an active role in the team, what he can do and what Gianpaolo is looking at. They are also rumored to bring in Lucas Torreira from Arsenal as Gianpaolo coached him at Sampdoria, but it's very hard as Arsenal are asking for 30 million for the midfielder, and I'm not sure if Milan will be willing to give that much money for him unless they can lower their demands. I know they're also looking at Stefano Sensi from Sassuolo, who's not a bad midfielder. It would be good putting out the long balls, short passes, creative player for sure, and they're looking again for 20 million plus bonuses as well. So there's again another signing in the midfield. You need to add that depth, and let's see what they do too, because Bakayoko's not being re-signed. Unfortunately, he had a stellar performance after taking over Biglia, like once Biglia got injured, and he won over the fans. He was such a fan favorite, but it was very hard to keep him at 35 million. I know they were trying to get discounts with Chelsea considering their transfer ban, but unfortunately, they couldn't do much with that. And then we go into Antonio Conte at Inter, and again, another betrayal that Juventini feel because he went to Inter, and again, they are huge rivals as well. So this will be intriguing how he changes Inter as well. I don't think he will keep Icardi. I don't think he has him in his plans at all. And again, with Dzeko coming in, if he's coming in, you get a good striker as well, but he's someone who's aging as well, and it's not a long-term replacement for Icardi, who's still only 24, 25. He's getting to the prime of his career. He's a good striker, but I don't know, a lot of issues going on there, but what are you going to do? So, if they bring in Dybala will be working well under Conte as well. Maybe Conte can get the best out of Dybala, considering he didn't have the best of seasons at Juve, because he's usually the main man. You play through him, but with Ronaldo, he just couldn't play with him. He had such an abysmal season. He scored more than, I think, 15, 16 goals last season in all competitions, maybe more, but scoring under 10 goals, for such a player like Dybala, you need to play through him, and that's what he wants, and that's how you get the best out of him. But with Ronaldo, they just couldn't play off each other. And if you can bring him in, then you have a good team. You can build around Dybala. You can build around Martinez. But then again, you have Borja Valero, who's getting older as well. Nainggolan had a pretty decent season, helped Inter qualify for the Champions League as well. So there's a lot of work to be done. They're bringing in Godin, strengthen the back line. You get 3 top defenders in De Vrij, Skriniar, and Godin. But again, Godin not a long-term plan, as he's, again, 34. He's older. So a lot of work to be done. So now we're going on to some official transfers that we know are taking place, and perhaps some other rumors as well. You know, we had Soriano, who is officially, and Sansone, sorry, who are officially bought by Bologna. That will become official come July 1st. Di Lorenzo making his move from Empoli to Napoli, so he's going to be another right back added. He's going to join Malqui and compete in that position. So that means Hysaj will most likely leave. He wasn't getting a lot of playing time under Ancelotti, so there's going to be a lot of work to do in his team. Rumors of Mario Rui leaving as well. Rumored to go to Milan, as Gianpaolo coached him back at Empoli. But I don't know if that's the best move for Mario Rui, considering Napoli won a lot for him, and he's not worth at least 15 million. And that's not who Milan should be targeting as well. You get Ola Aina from Torino, who spent last season on loan. He was officially bought for 10 million, and that's a great signing. He had a terrific season with them. And speaking on Torino as well, considering Milan are looking at being excluded, accepting the exclusion from the Europa League, so Torino most likely being the team that will be going into the competition, taking their place. So they would want to reinforce their team and maybe purchase players who performed well last season. They even purchased Gigi, if I'm pronouncing his name right, from Nantes, who again was on loan as well, had a good season with Torino. And Mazzarri did so well with his team, so it'd be good to see them as well as the Europa League. Again, like we said, Ramsey coming in for Juve. Ospina making it official to Napoli. So now Napoli have an experienced keeper who had played with them, had some good games with them as well. Meret, starting keeper, young, and he will do well under Ancelotti with Napoli. And then Carnesis as a third keeper. Again, you want to have that good depth, you know. And going on to some rumors as well. Well, again, Krunic, going to be announced officially soon. He's having his medical in these coming days, so official announcement should be coming soon, so watch out for that. They're even linked to Kramaric from Hoffenheim, so I believe he's requested by Maldini and even mentioned by Shevchenko, or unless that's another Ukrainian player I'm thinking of. But again, another good midfielder to keep an eye out. And Joao Cancelo, not in Sarri's plans, rumored to make his way to Manchester City. So he was good with Juve, but losing him out and not making that much profit on him, considering he's going to Man City, where English teams tend to overpay for players. So if he is going to go there, I would say Juve should try to get as much money as they can. But what are you going to do with that? I don't know why he's not in his plans. He's such a quality defender, and he would be one to help Juve, like in Europe and other competitions as well, add the depth. And I know there's also rumors of Paul Pogba returning to Juve, but with rumors of even with Ramsey coming in and Rabiot, if he's coming in again, those are two players who you're going to be paying a lot of wages for. And then you have to offer up Pogba and players, because if you're trying to get Pogba, 80 to 100 mil at least, and that means you're going to have to be selling your players as well. And Pogba is going to want a huge wage as well, so it depends if it's worth putting all that money on their books. And it depends who they'll want to get rid of to fund him, because then you still got to get, depending who you sell, you still have to replace those players as well, depending who you go for and who you sell and how much you sell them for. So there's a lot of questions, who to get as well. I know to even strengthen the back line, Juve are looking at Mathis de Ligt, who played for Ajax and even scored against them in the Champions League. He's a very sought after defender, young player, 19 years old, would be the perfect player to put in that Juve lineup. It would even take over Chiellini or even play alongside him until he retires. And that's a long-term replacement as well. And I don't know if he would fit well with Rugani, to be honest, unless they sell Rugani. But then, even if they get De Ligt, and then in a couple of years Chiellini retires, I'm not sure they'll go with a De Ligt-Rugani partnership. They'll probably look at getting another defender. So, again, more rumors, more up in the air. I know, too, with, like I was speaking earlier, with Manolas, Napoli are looking at him, Milan are looking at him. But it's the 36 million release clause that those teams don't really want to pay. They feel it's too much for a defender that's getting closer to 30. He's about 27, 28, I would feel. He would be a solid addition to both these teams as well. Can you imagine Manolas beside Koulibaly or beside Romagnoli? Like, that would be an ideal partnership. A great defender partnered by another great defender, then you have a great center back pairing. And so again, he's another player to look out for. James Rodriguez, rumored to leave Madrid after Bayern did not take up the option of his 2-year loan. He's rumored to go to Napoli, and even ESPN Colombia saying he's going to Napoli next season. So that would be a great addition for Ancelotti and his Napoli team. And then maybe they can really put out a challenge against Juventus. We'll see who can end the run. And again, it's still early right now. It's only June. With the transfer market officially opening, well, it's officially open in some places, but, you know, July 1st, a lot of these contracts and whatever become official, where they officially join their team. So we'll see. Come July 1st, until I believe it's September 2nd, an extended transfer market in Serie A. Let's see how the teams will strengthen their squads. There are a lot of players on the market, a lot of rumors, so sometimes it's hard to believe who's right, who's wrong. Again, if you follow a lot of social media, follow Gianluca Di Marzio. He is the dawn of transfers. Usually what he says becomes reality. You know, you'll say this person is signing, they signed in the next couple days. They're doing a medical, they're having the medical. So he is one person I would say to keep an eye out for. As well, if you follow your teams, always look out for their teams. Inside people, they are very close to the team and they know what's going on. So again, let me know who you want on your team. Who would your ideal signing be? Who would your dream signing be? Who would you think is the actual sign, you know? Those little 3 things are always interesting to see from different people. Let me know if I missed anything, how excited, nervous, you know, intrigued you are about this transfer market, any coaches changes, you know. Don't forget to also comment if I did miss anyone or you have any thoughts about what I said. Be sure to let me know and comment down below. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Calcio_Bros, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more Calcio content. We'll hear from you guys soon.